begin with the first confirmed diagnosis of Ebola in the United States. The Centers for Disease Control say a man in Dallas tested positive for the deadly virus. Efforts are underway this morning to track down anyone who had close contact with him.
And in a moment, we're going to talk to the head of the CDC about containing this virus. But first, Manuel Bojorquez is at the hospital in Dallas, and that's where the victim and some first responders are now in isolation. Manuel, good morning.
Good morning. This is where indeed that patient is being treated in isolation. It's Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital. State health officials also say they are monitoring what they describe as a handful of people who had close personal contact with that individual, as the CDC tries to ease the fears of the American public.
Our staff is trained and prepared to take care of patients with a variety of infectious diseases, including Ebola virus disease.
The CDC says the patient left Liberia on September 19th, arriving in Dallas on the 20th. Hospital officials say the infected patient initially came in Friday night seeking care but was sent home. It wasn't until his second visit 2 days later by ambulance that hospital staff learned the patient recently arrived in the U.S. from West Africa.
That's when the information became more clear, but even then it wasn't completely clear, and it's still evolving.
The unidentified man who flew to the U.S. to visit relatives is the first traveler to bring the virus stateside. Health officials emphasize that since the patient did not show symptoms until days after landing, the passengers who shared his flight are not at risk of contracting Ebola.
It is not contagious before you develop symptoms. That's not true of other diseases. For example, influenza virus is transmissible before you even get sick. That's certainly true of many other diseases, but not this particular disease.
The CDC has also dispatched a team here to Texas to help trace any other potential contacts that patient may have had. The emergency crew that transported that individual has also been isolated. Officials will monitor their symptoms for 21 days. The ambulance that was used has been quarantined as a precaution.